Hey everyone, this is an updated Gragas builds for the preseason. Just a reminder, things are going to get nerfed, things are going to get changed, things are going to get buffed. Who knows until we get into season 11, but for now, these builds currently work for me and I think it'll work for you too, so I'm sharing my builds. First thing I want to talk about are the Gragas Buffs. Now, these are subject to change, but most likely it's going to roll to the next patch. Gragas is feeling weak right now, so his passive healing is from 6% to 8%. That's really great. Even though it's just a 2%, that could change a lot of things. One little poke, you can out-heal it, especially in the early game. W cooldown from 6 seconds to 5 seconds. Now, just a reminder, I wouldn't call this a buff. This is more of a revert. Gragas's original W cooldown was 8 seconds, down to 4 seconds for every level you put in it, reduced it by 1 second. But then they changed it to 5 seconds at all levels. And then when Gragas was pretty much big in the competitive scene, they buffed it. They actually nerfed it to 6 seconds because he was picked. Now Gragas is struggling a lot compared to the other junglers right now. So having these buffs are great. I don't think they're overpowered. I think that makes him a well-balanced champion. So the first build is the Liandrys build. I've talked about it from the previous video. This build is still staple. Liandrys, you can either get Sorc shoes or Ionian boots, depending on what you want to do. You want more damage or you want more utility. You can get Cosmic Drive as the first legendary item into Zhonya's Void Staff and Rabadon's. I think this is great. You can mix and match the build if you want to. If you don't want Zhonya's and you want Lich Bane for more damage, go for it. But I think Cosmic Drive is the first item because it provides 30 ability haste is very important, especially this build. It's not really technically for one-shotting. It's more of continuously damaging your opponent with your low cooldowns. Now, the second build is versus Squishies. Now, this build also hasn't changed. Night Harvester. I love Night Harvester. Even though it got nerfed by 50 damage, I think it's still a wonderful item. Second, the boots you're going to get are, of course, the Sorc shoes. I wouldn't recommend Lucidity. Really recommend Sorc shoes. You're here for damage. You're here to one-shot. You're here to guarantee the power to one-shot Squishies, and you want to make sure that could happen. Now, you're not going to get a lot of cooldown reduction on this build, but you get that power. Remember, Season 11, it's either you go for CDR or you go for power. You can't have the best of both worlds anymore, unfortunately. The first legendary item I like is the, I think, Horizon Focus. Provides 100 ability power, and when you CC a target, you increase your damage by 10%. Of course, if you throw a max range Q, you can also get that 10% increased damage. So either one can work, but it's a really good item. I know people can substitute this for Lich Bane. I've seen other builds with Lich Bane, and I've seen it with this. You can also substitute Zhonya's Hourglass for a Lich Bane if you don't want to go a defensive route. You just want to go full power. But I kind of recommend Deathcap as your fourth item, because you're going there to one-shot. But just a reminder, you're lacking a lot of CDR. If you cannot one-shot your target, hopefully you can escape or run away. So, third one, this is the all-around. Now, I didn't really introduce this from the previous video. This has the Protobelt, or you could say RocketBelt in this build. You can get RocketBelt actually as your first item over Cosmic Drive. One thing I like about Cosmic Drive is that you get that insane CDR already. Season 10, you could have gotten about 43 to 45% CDR with 3,000 gold. You get a Lost Chapter, you get you got your Fiendish Codex, you get a Kindle Gem, you got Transcendence, you got those CDR runes. You already got your like 43 to 45% CDR, but now with the Cosmic Drive or spending 3,000 gold, you only get about 33% CDR at level 10. To get 45% CDR, you might be around level 13 from what I've seen it. But you can build a Cosmic Drive or you can build RocketBelt. Now, the boots are the same. You can get Lucidity or Sorc shoes depending on the power that you want. You want more utility or you want more damage. Now, RocketBelt is changed, putting more and more games into it. it's different now. We cannot clear waves with it. We cannot cut minions with it, but we can chase down our opponents. It's great at locking into those targets or immediately running to them because they don't expect that 50% movement speed burst. After that one, you can get a Zhonya's because defensive stats are really good. I really recommend Zhonya's. Zhonya's is like a bread and butter to Gragas, but it depends how you play. Void Staff or Lichbane, depending on how the match goes. If you don't see them building MR, go for a Lichbane. It really synergizes with the power that you're pushing forward with RocketBelt and of course Rabadons as the last item. You can mix and match this build if you want. So the tank damage build. Now people are telling me Sunfires or the Frostfire gauntlet. I think Sunfires is great. I think Frostfire is great. They both serve different purposes. The great thing about Sunfires, it gives 5 ability haste per legendary item, while for the Frostfire you get, I think, an HP boost and your character model size increases by, I think, 7.5%. I may be wrong on that. The good thing is that every 4 seconds, based on your ability haste, your auto attack will create an AoE ring slow, just like an Iceborne Gauntlet, but instead of it proccing on the Sheen, it just procs every 4 seconds. I think that slow is very useful in kiting or very useful to sticking onto your target compared to a Sunfires. I understand how people like Sunfires because of the 5 ability haste, but let's be real, getting those legendary items takes too long. 5 ability haste for that one completed legendary item may not be worth it, and I'd rather get the Frostfire, but it's really up to you. Remember, mix and match the build. Cosmic Drive always as a second item. You need that CDR to continuously pump damage into your opponent, making sure your body slam is up, continuously slowing. Demonic Embrace as the third item. God, I love that. It's like a Liandrys, but a little bit weaker, but you get magic resistant armor helping you survive. You can get Zhonya's as your 5th item, and of course 6th item is flexible. I kind of recommend Abyssal Mask. Abyssal Mask increases your damage by 10%, I believe, if you CC the target, right? I may be wrong on that. I have to double check on it, but Abyssal Mask is a great magic resist item that pushes damage. If you're gonna get Spirit Visage, that's fine, but you're moving a lot of damage. Or you can even get an armor item if you want, if the majority of the team is armor instead of magic resist. Now, versus no mobility. Now, a lot of people told me Everfrost is bad, Everfrost is good. What do you think about Everfrost? I think it's kind of a worst version of the Hextech GLP. The good thing is that this can go through minions. Hextech GLP couldn't. Getting the roots on this item is actually pretty hard. You gotta be pinpoint on it. You may have to slow the target with your Q first to get it on a precise route. But it's not a bad item. It's the only item that did not get nerfed compared to the other mage mythic items. Sork Shoes is a must here for me because you get more power into it. You get 15 extra ability power for every legendary item you complete. I like Cosmic Drive with it. Zhonya's basically the bread and butter build, but you can mix and match with this build. But Everfrost is not bad against targets that have no mobility. So if you're fighting Yasuo, Katarina, Lucian, Ezreal, I do not recommend this item. There's no way you're going to land this item. Maybe you might land it slow, but rarely the root. And I seem to lose a lot of matchups with this item if I play against people with high mobility. But try it out against like Lux, Xerath, Ahri without her ulti. It's actually not that hard to land it. So please give it a shot. Now I want to go to runes for all of these. Runes are going to be pretty much almost the same on everything except the burst mage build. Now with the control mage build with Liandrys, same runes, but I have a new secondary rune. Now, before I told you guys Presence of Mind and Coup de Grace, the greatest thing is about Presence of Mind is that they changed it where if you poke your target, you get mana back. And of course, if you kill or get an assist, you get 15% of your mana back. And Coup de Grace is good for targets below 40% HP, you deal 8% more damage. But looking more into it, I think Biscuits and Cosmic Insight is actually pretty powerful for a control build. Biscuits helps you in laning phase as always, and Cosmic Insight reduces your flash cooldown by 40 seconds. 40 seconds. So the moment you engage on your target and you both blow flashes, just a reminder, your flash will be up in 40 seconds earlier than your target. Okay, We both burn flashes. All right. His flash is down 5 minutes. My flash is down 4 minutes and 10 seconds. Now I have that extra 4 minutes and 20 seconds. I'm sorry. I have that extra 40 seconds to commit to my opponent without him expecting that my flash is up. So keep that in mind. If you mix Lucidity Boots and Cosmic Insight, your flash is reduced by close to 70 seconds. That's over a minute less. The moment you and your opponent flash at the same time, his flash is 5 minutes, yours is 3 minutes and 50 seconds. That's insane for catching targets. So please do mix and match with these. Remember, Presence of Mind and Coup de Grace, I think more damage. Biscuits and Cosmic Insight is more of cooldowns and having your opponent not expect you to have your flash up so early. Let's see. But with the Burst Mage build, I actually recommend Dark Harvest over Electrocute, especially QRing someone. You can successfully do it with Dark Harvest. With Dark Harvest and Night Harvester. They both have Harvest in their name. Harvest their souls. So just try, even though it got nerfed by 50 damage, you can still do a lot of damage, especially when you're ramping up that Dark Harvest. You need to maximize poking your targets in lane to get those Dark Harvest stacks, so please try to do that. Just be careful of your mana pool. Same thing with the RocketBelt, Presence of Mind, Biscuits, depending on your playstyle. And of course, the no mobility. I think I had better luck with just Cosmic Insight in general instead of the Presence of Mind and Coup de Grace on this one. So give it a shot. Oh, and the last but not least, Imperial Mandate. Now, a lot of Gragas players have been asking me, what do you think about Imperial Mandate? Is it good? Is it bad? Why don't I see you build it, right? I think Imperial Mandate is a great all-around damage item. For only 2,700 gold, or around that, I think 2,750, I may be wrong. It provides you a great 60 to 100 damage for every spell you punch to your target, except W, unless you have the slow rune, Glacial Augment. But yeah, Glacial Augment itself is kind of pretty. I don't think that's good. I think I would rather choose Phase Rush over Glacial Augment. I think it's a great damage item, but we are forgetting that damage is not everything. For 2,700 gold, I think it's great, more of a support item. But when it comes to laning Gragas, I think there are mythics out there, other mythics that are just better. Like, for example, RocketBelt helps you chase. Ludens helps you wave clear. Liandrys helps you burn percentage tanks faster, right? Everfrost may catch no mobility champions compared to Imperial Mandate. Imperial Mandate, you have to try to be staple to your opponent. It may do the most DPS compared to all of the other mage mythics and how cheap it is. But reminder, the stats 40 AP versus 80 AP. I'd rather choose the 80 AP because it's all around beneficial for Gragas compared to the 40 AP. And also, Imperial Mandate is getting nerfed in the future from 60 to 100 to 36 and 60. That's almost half of it. Half of that damage is already gone. So I don't think the item will be that great later on in the future. I think it's an overall generic damage item, but there are just mythics, other mage mythics that can do better. So yeah, these are my builds right now. Remember, these are subject to change in the future, and I will always update this build. Just a reminder that my builds are always going to be in the description below. You just need that one link, and it'll always be updated every time I find something better or I discover something new. And of course, if you have any build recommendations, please do post them below, and also join my Discord, discord.gg/PanunuLOL. There is a Gragas help channel and a Gragas guide channel where you can check out new builds and talk to other Gragas enthusiasts, Gragas mains, Gragas players out there from around the world, and talk about your new builds and what you have discovered. And remember guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you do, please like and subscribe for more videos. Hit that notification bell, and hopefully you can see my newest and latest videos in the future. And remember, if you do want to watch me live, please visit twitch.tv/PanunuLOL. Pretty much live almost every week, every day. I try, and thank you so much guys for supporting the channel. See you on the rift.